Christianity remains the largest religion worldwide, with over 2.4 billion followers. In the US, about 63% of the population identifies as Christian, totaling approximately 210 million people. However, some states have significantly low Christian populations, not by percentage, but by raw numbers. These states often reflect cultural, historical, and demographic differences that contribute to their unique religious landscapes. Curious to know which states made the list? Stick around as we explore the 10 US states with the lowest Christian populations. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch till the end for all the surprising insights. Number 10, Vermont has the lowest Christian population in the United States, with only 320,000 Christians out of its 645,000 residents. This means roughly 49.6% of the state identifies as Christian, one of the lowest percentages in the nation. Did you know that Vermont is often labeled as the most secular state? A staggering 37% of Vermonters claim no religious affiliation. While Christianity remains the leading religion, smaller congregations dominate as there are few megachurches. Protestant groups, especially Episcopalians and Baptists, form the majority, while Catholics account for about 15% of the Christian population. Vermont's cultural focus on individualism and progressive values has fueled the rise of secularism. Despite this, Christian holidays such as Christmas are widely celebrated, highlighting the cultural influence of the faith. Churches often serve as local hubs in small towns, bringing together close-knit communities. Number 9, Wyoming, known for its vast landscapes, has a Christian population of 420,000, making up about 72.8% of the state's total 577,000 residents. While this seems like a high percentage, the raw number is among the lowest due to Wyoming's sparse population. Protestant denominations dominate, with Baptists, Lutherans, and Methodists leading the way. Catholics account for about 14% of the Christian population, reflecting the state's historical immigrant patterns. Did you know Wyoming has fewer than 1,000 churches statewide? Many residents live in remote areas, making church attendance less frequent. Rural communities often gather in small, family-oriented congregations, rather than large institutions. Wyoming's independent and self-reliant culture contributes to a growing number of people identifying as spiritual but not religious. Although Christian influence remains strong, secular ideas are slowly gaining ground. Number 8, Alaska. Alaska's Christian population stands at 455,000, out of the state's total 736,000 residents, meaning 61.8% identify as Christian. This number reflects the challenges of maintaining religious practice in a vast and remote state. Did you know that Russian Orthodox Christianity has deep roots in Alaska, introduced during the Russian colonization in the 18th century? Today, Protestantism dominates, followed by Catholicism. Many Alaskans combine Christian beliefs with indigenous spiritual practices, creating a unique religious landscape. Despite its low Christian count, Alaska has one of the highest rates of charitable giving, much of which is driven by faith-based organizations. Harsh winters and remote communities make traditional church attendance difficult, but small, tight-knit congregations thrive in local villages. Christian holidays such as Christmas and Easter are widely celebrated, bringing communities together even in the most isolated areas. Number 7, North Dakota. North Dakota has 610,000 Christians, representing about 78.3% of its total population of 779,000 people. While this percentage is relatively high, the raw number places it among the states with the lowest Christian populations. Did you know that Lutheranism and Catholicism dominate the state due to its German and Scandinavian heritage? Over 50% of Christians in North Dakota identify as Lutheran, while 30% follow Catholicism. Churches are central to community life, particularly in rural areas where they often double as social hubs. Despite the strong Christian influence, younger generations are gradually moving away from organized religion, contributing to the growth of the non-religious population. North Dakota also hosts various interfaith initiatives, reflecting its small but diverse religious makeup. Number 6, Montana. Montana's Christian population totals 710,000 out of a state population of 1.1 million, meaning about 65% of residents identify as Christian. Protestant denominations lead, with Catholicism following closely. Did you know Montana is one of the few states where Native American spiritual practices coexist with Christianity? Many tribal communities blend traditional beliefs with Christian practices, creating a rich and unique spiritual tapestry. Churches here are often small, with community-focused missions. In rural areas, faith-based events like potlucks and fundraisers are common, keeping traditions alive. Although Christianity remains dominant, younger Montanans are increasingly identifying as non-religious, mirroring national trends. Number 5. Delaware. 712,000 Christians represent about 72% of the state's 1 million residents. As one of the smallest states by area, Delaware has a surprisingly diverse Christian population, with Catholicism and Protestantism leading the way. Did you know that Delaware was one of the first colonies to guarantee religious freedom? This history still influences its religious landscape today. Churches here emphasize community outreach, particularly in urban areas like Wilmington. However, non-religious groups are steadily growing, accounting for nearly 20% of the population. Despite its small size, Delaware's faith-based organizations play a big role in addressing social issues, from homelessness to education. Number 4. South Dakota. South Dakota has 726,600 Christians, which accounts for 81.2% of the state's 895,000 residents. This high percentage is driven by the state's deeply rooted religious traditions, primarily Lutheranism and Catholicism, which reflect the German and Scandinavian heritage of many of its settlers. Did you know South Dakota has one of the highest per capita church attendance rates in the U.S.? Churches play an essential role in rural communities, often doubling as venues for social gatherings and local events. Despite the strong presence of Christianity, younger generations are increasingly exploring non-religious identities, with the non-affiliated population growing steadily. Additionally, Native American spiritual practices are interwoven with Christian traditions in some communities, creating a unique cultural blend. Christmas, Easter, and other Christian holidays remain major events, uniting communities across the state. However, as urbanization increases, smaller congregations in rural areas are facing challenges in maintaining their memberships. Number 3. Maine. Maine's 837,000 Christians represent approximately 62% of the state's 1.35 million residents, making it one of the least religiously affiliated states by percentage. Protestant groups, such as Baptists and Methodists, dominate alongside a significant Catholic population, especially among older generations. Did you know Maine has one of the lowest church attendance rates in the nation? Despite this, Christianity plays an essential cultural role, especially in rural areas where churches often act as community hubs. In contrast, secularism is on the rise, with over 30% of Mainers now identifying as non-religious. The younger generation is driving this trend, although they continue to celebrate Christian traditions like Christmas and Easter. Maine's rugged lifestyle and independent spirit have led many to explore personal spirituality outside organized religion, contributing to the state's evolving religious landscape. Number 2. New Hampshire. New Hampshire has 840,000 Christians, making up about 60% of its 1.4 million residents. Though Christianity remains the most popular religion, the state is seeing a rapid rise in secularism, with nearly 33% of people identifying as non-religious. Did you know New Hampshire consistently ranks among the least religious states in America? Protestant denominations, including Baptists and Methodists, dominate, while Catholics make up a smaller yet significant portion of the Christian population. Despite the decline in church attendance, Christian traditions still hold cultural significance, particularly during holidays like Christmas. Churches in rural towns continue to play vital roles in fostering a sense of community. However, as urban areas expand, many congregations are adapting to meet the needs of younger, less traditional believers, signaling a shift in the state's religious dynamics. Number 1. Hawaii. 945,000 Christians make up 63% of the state's 1.44 million residents. The Christian population here reflects the state's unique multicultural identity, with many churches blending traditional Hawaiian elements like hula and ukulele music into worship services. Did you know Hawaii's religious history is deeply tied to Christian missionaries who arrived in the early 19th century? Today, Protestant denominations lead, followed by Catholicism, and smaller groups like Latter-day Saints and evangelical Christians. Despite its low numbers, Christianity remains a significant part of Hawaiian life, particularly in its emphasis on community and charity. Faith-based organizations are pivotal in addressing local issues such as homelessness and food insecurity. However, secularism is growing, with over 30% of Hawaiians identifying as unaffiliated with any religion. As the state evolves, its unique mix of faith and culture continues to thrive, offering a spiritual landscape unlike any other in the U.S. That concludes our list of the 10 U.S. states with the lowest Christian populations. Which state surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more insightful content. Thanks for watching!